This is
I
the
think
nugget platter. This is the first game of the nugget platter, by the way. I can't forget that because I know we talked about that with Cole Kubelik last night. So
what a stud. Cole was such a great guest. Thank you for him for joining us. All right, there's a couple things I look at in this game. You can have your question marks about both quarterbacks, I believe. I think you could literally look at this game and go, okay, I don't know if either quarterback is elite. So put that on the table, put that on the nugget platter. And I think that now to me, it goes, okay, what about the guys around them and the success that can be gleaned from that? And that's where I think, Georgia's got Tennessee's number. They've won 8 straight.
Yep.
I read this stat the other day, Brent, too. Heupel averages almost 40 points a game, and against Kirby and company, he averages 14.
Yep.
How about that? Averaged 14 points a game. That was crazy. I saw that stat, and I was like, that just shows you, like, Georgia's done a good job matching up. And the reason why is because Georgia can match up out wide, and they're going to play man-to-man. They're going to play aggressively. They're not going to let you dictate to them like a lot of teams thought, like Josh Heupel does that to a lot of defenses. And He's not going to let you do that because he also feels confident in his box as well to dominate and to get home. So those are some things that I found, interesting in this matchup. I like Georgia's weapons a lot. I like Georgia's weapons this year a whole lot. When I say that, running backs and receivers, I'm not sure they take a back seat to many people in the country in totality. I feel like spread out across the board, I think they've got a bunch of guys that can win, a bunch of guys that can beat you, guys that can win contested catches, guys that can catch screens and go a distance, guys that can run out of the backfield, catch the football, guys that can hit home runs out of the backfield. So there's a lot of weapons that I like from the Georgia side of the football on offense. I did not mention their O-line, though, but that's where I started, where the clear advantages were for Georgia. Kirby, and then I think the weapons that Georgia has on offense and the defense that's pretty daggum consistent.
You mentioned the quarterbacks. Both of them have yet to have a turnover-worthy play. And also, the two of them are 2 of like 5, I think, in the Power 5 that have been pressured double-digit times and yet to be sacked. So both QBs have, independent of the offensive line, any offensive line issues, they've avoided getting sacked. And Gunnar Stockton's been pressured more so than Aguilar, that's for sure. But what was the funny thing that you mentioned about Georgia there with all the weapons? And I agree, especially the running back room. Dwight Phillips can take it to the house at any point in time.
Speed.
And then you've got the size and speed combo with Thomas and Young, and then Branch as the speed guy. But you didn't mention the tight ends. And last year's game was where the tight ends shined for Georgia. 10 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns combined from the 3 tight ends that they played a season ago. So that was a big deal. Kitzelman for Tennessee, I think, is a really good tight end as well, and was used a lot early in that game, not so much later. But I think that's one for me. Do the tight ends, because they haven't really been much of Georgia's offense. The other part is who gets field goals and who gets touchdowns, because Tennessee right now is number 1 in the Power 4 in red zone percentage and number of red zone plays, and their 100% conversion in the red zone. So can Georgia force field goals? And then obviously Tennessee on the other side playing defense, can they make Georgia, like Austin Peay did, not score at the goal line? So, but you've mentioned the receivers as well. Tennessee's cornerbacks are out, but by the way, the 2 that they've got that have the 2 primary, like Redmond and Hood, have played really well. The Redmond kid, one of the highest graded true freshmen in the country. So that's the thing. This to me though has all the makings of both teams aren't really trusting of their quarterback as much. Maybe Tennessee probably trusts theirs a little more and try a few more things, but it's like
at home.
How long can we get in the game and keep it close till we try to, put the throttle in place and go get the victory?
All right, now let him hang a little bit. Let's go. What you got?
I think Georgia is going to win this game. I think it's just much like Kirby has a Bama problem. Right now, Tennessee has a Kirby problem. And it's just one that the totality of it and how they play defense, and even the only question mark is, does Gunnar go and completely crap himself and pee down his leg and do all the bad things early, and then they get down 14-0, and that puts Georgia in a really bad place. But I don't think they're going to do that. So, and I think they're going to use a lot of quick game, a lot of the stuff they've already done. And I think they'll eventually win, and those receivers will make a play. I got Georgia 23, Tennessee 20.
And I loved Kirby's response to why the tight ends weren't targeted the other day in the game. He was like, bro, they were, but sometimes it's not there. And sometimes other problems happen in the rise in the play where they don't get thrown the football. You will see them used more against Tennessee. You're absolutely right about that. I got 24-17 Georgia. And I think Gunner's legs will play a big part in the role. But I think you'll see some good Georgia offense. I think you'll see more downfield throws. I think you'll see some jump balls to Colby Young. And I got the Dogs in a close one over Tennessee.